AM by, say, 20 minutes. But Beast Coast has this insane early timing. Again, it's not like you as an AM will want to get a lot of counterspell levels for the magic res. It's just not something you'd want to do. So the magic damage coming out from the side of Beast Coast is still going to be strong. You can get a lot of value out from your Venomancer and Shaker. One issue with Beast Coast and playing that pace is, with a Shaker core, you're waiting on Blink no matter what. So it can kind of stall out in the Shaker front, at least in jumping in with a great slams coming out. That will be dependent on Gojira's timing for the Blink, and if that gets slowed down, well, it's not going to feel great to look for that Blink timing. It's just the nature of Shaker.
Video game with real people,
we are going to have a quick pause straight off the bat here. Hey, that damn voice line always gets me as well, John. Sneaks up on you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just too fitting. You see a pause, you instantly spam that out, and Stinger knows what he wants.
It was getting far too crowded.
I'm still worried about this, this Earthshaker pickup, right? Like, it's one of those heroes where it feels like I can guarantee Earthshaker will be back before TI 11 starts. Almost guaranteed. This hero is going to make a comeback, like it does every single year. But for now, it really does feel quite lackluster.
Yeah, I mean, it can be effective up against certain lineups. I'm not too sure how you really slot it in here fully, especially considering your lane matchup. An AM shouldn't be too scared. You can just go for the enchant build in that lane, but Gojira does go for the level 1 Fissure, probably looking for a block. I think overall, as an AM, you're going to be happy to see that level 1 Fissure over the enchant because you don't want to trade physically early on. Shaker can be quite annoying with a physical output. But I don't know, it's not like you're playing against a huge swath of illusions. You can still get some good plays out, but it's really dependent on getting good angles out, and that's easier said than done for Gojira to get going here, especially since catching out puck, catching out an aim down the line is very tough.
Certainly is, John. We'll move in for a bit of a fight over these bounty runes, but it doesn't seem like much is going to come of it. Both teams just a bit of harassment each other's way, but that'll be about it. Start with this mid lane for now. You're going to have no one there on the puck, and he's going to be up against the Kunkka of Chris Lark. This Kunkka versus puck matchup, and we've seen this many, many times, John. Do you feel like it favors one side or the other here?
It feels a little bit better for Kunkka, just because you can just always play with the Tidebringer. The puck's going to have to be on point with a phase shift. Puck does still have really good wave clear with the Orb and the Winning Rift once that's up. You can always dodge out from the Kunkka spells, but Chris Luck shouldn't be challenged too hard. It's just a standard farming lane. If you do get rotations in, it can get really easy for the Kunkka to set up with the X as well, if you manage to find room. And considering the sports you have, that's probably going to have to be Stinger. The Veno can kind of help you get damage off, but not really in the control aspect, which feels like it's going to be a bigger aspect for that Kunkka versus puck lane.
Top lane. The progression going out already is Vincere. Did cop a Fissure there from Gojira, but it's going to be fine to back himself out. Mind you, even with the anti-mage in a game like this, it is in fact, hold that thought, because K1 now down a bot lane is in big trouble and does end up dropping. Lay's able to secure the first blood already on the DP, and that's K1 going down on the jump.
Pretty big loss to drop Hector already. It's a bit of a slower lane for him as well. This is to be expected. I mean, you do have Cookie plays down the line once you've got the levels in Stinger. Cookie plus spin is going to be really big. But Lays feels comfy. It's a DP up against a melee core on the safe lane. You've always got the Spirit Siphons to play with, and we have seen what happens when a Tiny can't position itself. Level 2 is already up for Sweden Strong. The threat of the toss back is always going to be there. Tossing it makes that DP very happy in this matchup.
I was talking just a moment ago about that top lane as well, John. I was saying Vincere, on this AM, as I say it, he's about to get rather aggressive here onto Whisper, but my point was, it is still a very annoying lane to be in for Vincere. Like, any lane against Veno is going to be annoying as it is, and up until he has that full ring of health up, probably not going to enjoy this lane too much. You can see Solo, every time he has Arctic Burn up, obviously he can be quite impactful, but every time it is down Vincere, he's kind of a sitting duck, at least during this laning stage.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit slower going for him. Same story with Hector as well, K1, and both of them kind of having a slow start in the safe lanes here. It does feel like that hurts the AM a lot more though, because you are almost always going to go for that battle tree build up. And any stall in that just stalls out your farm, although Hector's always in the line of danger there.
Opponent here from Sweden, Strong and Lace, just not getting given a break here from these guys, and get the healing ward out here from the Jug. Really relying on trying to survive with it, but now the toss back onto Stinger. He finds Cookie away, but the Avalanche is going to be there, and they really want the kill, but Stinger will very fire up, and now Sweden Strong is the one in danger. They will turn around and man fight this one out, but K1 is going to spin up and eventually toss to Lace. Going to buy a bit of space for Sweden Strong, and he will not drop. In the end, he does back his way out.
It's going to be a lot of resources committed from both sides to stay in the lane. Stinger's still fairly low here, though.
Here's John. Stinger. He's going to be just fine. Cookie's his way out, but you do kind of get a little bit concerned about how this bottom lane is going. I mean, it feels like Lace is just getting everything he could ask for on this DP.
Yeah, it's just the nature of the DP. Very dominant in the lane. Not much you can really do to stop it. And there are play angles for Beast Coast to take, for K1 to take with Stinger. Like, you can always go for the cookie spin, but it's very man-intensive. Toss back again.
Again onto the Jug. K1 doesn't have the mana for spin, but he does have stick charges if he needs it. He's going to be just fine. A Sweden Strong now. Once again, someone from K1. They are going to be able to secure the kill. No problem this time around.
That's a good way of kind of recovering. Not the biggest kill, but killing off a DP is a bit of a pipe dream at this point. So you'll take what you can get. Kind of helps K1 recover a bit. Kind of helps Hector try to build up into that initial phase for the Jug. Rather even start. Bit slower, although up top.
Solo, not going to be able to survive through it. Beachun, he does make a blink in, but it's rather aggressive of him, and he doesn't actually go for the kill at all. Whisper just kind of walks his way up and gets aggressive back onto the AM. Beachun still going to be able to sustain himself in this lane though with the Ring of Health up, but without the Winter Wyvern around, it is going to be rather hard to secure all the CS he'd like.
Yeah, it's still slow going, but again, not the worst thing in the world considering that Jug's also kept behind. It still hurts the aim a little bit more, but the Ring of Health at least allows you to not be bullied completely out of the lane. So the levels are building up. Level 4 and Whisper is pretty big. Level 2 Sting, Plague Ward, and the Gale ready. And Gojira does have the Arcane Boots up as well. So, gonna be able to sustain through just spamming out the enchant, spamming out the fissures, and still look for the angle. It's that ties in all the lanes. Like, no one's able to rotate towards mid. From the side of Navi or Beast Coast, just trying to win out what they can. You do have Sweden Strong from Navi actually showing up, but he doesn't have his puck from no one, so not gonna be able to really get much. Maybe looking to deny the power rune at the very least. Does get lucky.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Sweden Strong.
What have we?
He's screwing up. He'll make a walk back down towards the bot lane. He found out Strong. He'll go for a toss up, but I think he has quite enough damage to secure the kill on his own. In fact, now into the mid lane they go. No one. He does get the coil onto the Kunkka. Sweden Strong does make his way over as well, but doesn't have toss available to toss him out and break the coil. They are still going to try and get the kill though here onto Chris Luck. The nice toss back into the T1 tower. Chris Luck eventually going to get stunned up and does get punished. Very aggressive TP there from Sweden Strong right in front of the Beast Coast plays down a bot lane, but it does work out. He gets away with it.
He sees the cookie expended, knows he's got room, and sees that opportunity mid. We even see Gojira dragging himself over there, TPing towards mid to try to help out just a bit too late. And that's your offlane making an early rotation. That's a lot to miss out on, or at least your Pons 4 doesn't get that impact you want on the Shaker. You are starting to build up on Whisper. He does have level 6, doesn't go for the Nova. It's starting to really be annoying in that lane. Pushing in, or get some space out, although down bot.
Gonna go down immediately thanks to Lace and Sweden Strong. And K1, he knows he's not safe here. Avalanche is not gonna connect, and K1
Dire's middle
Run
tower
towards
is
the
under
east
attack.
to try and get his way out of this, but Lace is on the chase now with the Siphon. K1 maybe not realizing no one is just gonna accept the fact that he cannot
Radiant's
survive
bottom
through it.
tower is under
Will
attack.
drop. Another great kill here for Na'Vi, and it's right into that bottom
Dire's
tier 1
middle
tower.
tower is under attack.
Yeah, they don't quite have the HP or duration left in the Exo to go for that play, but they find big kill they want in comparison. You know, V-Tune's being camped by multiple heroes. As long as you don't find that kill in the AM, it's still much more favorable for Na'Vi, although they'll walk their way up now, but
Dire's
how do you
middle
really fully
tower
commit
has
here?
fallen.
100% sure on that one, John. Rookie is going to land. Maybe this is the way to do it. Solo immediately getting picked off, and I suppose that's how you do it, John. Because V-Tune just can't really help out. He is playing anti-mage after all, so his job is to hit creeps, Jonathan. And he's not going to get involved in the team fight when he knows he can't do much.
Yeah, but you're pretty happy. You know, you're sacrificing your Wyvern, you're killing off the Jug much more than your AM's dying, and you've got the room to actually rotate V-Tune down bot to play the farm game
Is
now.
under attack.
So your AM is still building up. It's still a little bit behind in comparison to what Hector has. But, oh,
Yeah, K1, he's had a really rough time here on the Jug. Mana Void is there. He's got no mana to go for a spin, but he is running his way out slowly. Problem is eventually V-Tune is going to be up. They really are not leaving this Jug alone. K1, he just can't catch a break.
nah, he's not being given that much room here, Hector. He's playing under vision. They've got really good aggressive wards from Na'Vi to keep track of that Jug. They do get that successful push up top. They are getting great investments onto Whisper and Crystlock, but I don't know if this investment in Venom really pays off. The Urn's up into the Spirit Vessel, so they've got some ways of playing against that sustain. And Crystlock is, again, getting pretty big on the Kunkka. Level 9, double bracer up with the phase boots, hits pretty hard and is pretty tanky. We haven't really seen that connect for Beast Coast just yet. Although with the early mid-tier 1 taken as well, they can at least shut down the jungle and cut off that farm from V-Tune, but it's not really a factor for Na'Vi. V-Tune's already playing bot anyway.
In lane, they're onto the Kunkka. That's another... They just make it look so easy here, Na'Vi. No contest. 3-6 now, the way of Na'Vi, and every team fight, every pick-off they go for, it's just so simple.
Just get all the bodies on top, get aggressive. They've got really good control on every hero on Na'Vi almost. They might find something more here.
They may. Sweet and Strong is there to set up onto the earth. Also going to drop. Just unable to survive the onslaught that is Na'Vi. They head towards the mid lane now, trying to find even more for themselves. They may just. Chris Luck, he's hanging around. Cookie's forward, Lace. He'll happily go for the fight now. Chris Luck doesn't realize he's completely surrounded. Eventually he will find out the hard way in the boat. It does fly in, but how does he get out of this one? He's been rolled up for so long. They're bringing more heroes. Not going to matter. The curse will knock down the Benno. Chris Luck, he may have done himself a good job. People just poison over though with Solo. And no one are ticking out. In fact, they've even down Lace the Death Prophet. Solo still trying to run and accepting his own death. Trying to protect no one, but he's going to drop. So Whisper, with the rotation, with that Poison Nova, really turns it around for his team.
Now gets good position out, forces the Chris onto himself as well, taking out big tools away from Na'Vi to play that fight. And we're going to see that in the replay very shortly here, but just getting that timing right. See, he just bravely walks up. They get good control into Chris Luck at first. And getting good silence in the Spirit Vessel running, cutting off that boat connection. The Kissers are just working at the back and just simple Venno plays. You know, run up, get cursed, doesn't matter.
Matter. Venno. I suppose this is the power spike, right? Like, this is when Venno feels really strong, and you see Whisper top of the net worth board right now, especially after that last team fight. He really just climbed his way up, and yeah, it's a tough affair for Na'Vi. You see that happen here. They do jump for more now. They are going to find that Venno. So Whisper is going to go down to Sweet and Strong, and Na'Vi, they do manage to get themselves some sweet, sweet revenge. Well, very nice for them, but again, I do believe this is where Whisper's going to be the strongest. There's no one. Going to find himself an Earthshaker now, so Gojira. No real chance of surviving through that one.
tries to play it with Cookie, trying to stun out no one. Hurts the Quill instead. No one just finds a little bit of a freebie. It does give Na'Vi the opportunity to try and equalize
Radiant's
mid with
middle
laser round.
tower is under attack.
Exo running. No Shaker, no Veno, although the respawns are short, but without that Nova, it doesn't feel like you really want to force this one too hard.
Dire's courier has been
Down. They
killed.
found Whisper again. They want the Veno down first. Keep in mind there's no poison over up anyway, so it's on cooldown right now and Sweet and Strong. Turns out he's gone a little bit too far here. Na'Vi back their way out, but no one. He gets caught out here on the park. He's not phase shift up, but the Echo Slam immediately committed by Gojira. No hesitation whatsoever from the Earthshaker. Na'Vi really just gonna try and play this one as slowly as possible. They are playing with a POS 1 AM after all, so they've got a long time to wait.
Yeah, they've got so much more farm necessary. I mean, the Battle Fury's up, but Vitrine's still behind even in comparison to Hector. He does manage to pull ahead now, but you can see just in moving the Beast Coast, cutting through that triangle, taking away the Ancients. Not many stacks there, but still taking away resources that Na'Vi wants to play with. And they're always on the offensive. We talk about Beast Coast going for this draft, trying to go all in on that early aggression. It's kicking into gear 30 minutes in.
Barely able to blink out in time before the Cookie landed. Very, very lucky there as the AM will run the bunker now. Chris Luck in a bit of danger. Was coiled up, but does get the boat out with the boat run buff. He is a bit tankier. We're going for a TP. Is there with the Mana Void to cancel. They do find the Kunkka once again. Now Vichum's even more time to keep that farm going on the AM.
Just keep building up as much as you can. Again, going into the usual AM build, Manta style. Forced to go to BKB here, but it does make sense considering all the magic damage coming out from Beast Coast and all the control they do have on hand. Not the easiest game to be slippery, and I think Beast Coast, for their part, still feeling pretty good. They're going to have this blink up in Gojira already. Flying out now, no slam to play with, but just having that additional control is huge. Hector, though, spins away.
Fine. We are going to have a quick pause out. It seems like Vichu might be having a few issues himself now on the AM. You know,
Mike.
Yep.
It's like we're in Southeast Asia. We never left.
Nah. No, of course we never left, John. It's good to see these traditions standing strong for us, Jonathan. You and I, we need these little breaks in between casts. Sweden?
Yeah.
Bit of trouble here, Sweden strong. Go for an avalanche out onto K1 and Whisper, but of course the Cookie is going to be there to cancel off the TP, and well, eventually Sweden strong. It might take him... Hold on a minute. He's going for Roshan. They have actually blocked themselves off here, but it won't matter. Eventually go to his own error. He does secure the kill onto the Tiny, but there would have been some words had that not been the kill the way of Beast Coast.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Good angling from Sweden Strong. Just not enough. He had to wait a little bit for the damage to come in. And the blink of Gojira just helps him secure that smoke out now from Beast Coast here, Mike. Slam gonna be ready for Gojira. And not the best slam game, but all that control could line up for a couple more kills here for Beast Coast on that smoke.
Fine. Bit of a wraparound here from Beast Coast, but it doesn't really amount to much. Still could try and invade the die triangle, but it's not going to be too easy. Hang around and get a few D wards off.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
They understand exactly where Beast Coast are, but actually don't want to try and force a fight outside of their comfort zone.
Illusion.
Beast Coast, they might just set up for a bottom tier 1 tower.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Getting a bit of a shove in
Dire's
already.
bottom
We had
tower is
Chris
under
Luck have his
attack.
BKB in the backpack. Let's
Radiant
put it
structures
forward now
are
as well.
fortified.
And they're just going to go for the safe objective. Not the biggest objective to take down bot. Maybe opens up access into the triangle a little bit more. Na'Vi again don't mind. Just play on the opposite side. Get the farm up for
Dire's
their
bottom
AM.
tower has
Get the
fallen.
investment going. No one has his blink up now. So you've got more initiation angles. You would ideally want Sweden Strong to have a blink as well, but he's been the sacrificial lamb and might be sacrificed once more if he's not careful.
He just made. Torrent does land. Fisher is there to follow up, and with the kisses, they do have strong. Just barely survive. The vessel's still going, but the second charge, that'll get it done. Whisper not playing around, really just wanting that kill. Navi, they do set up for a defense, not allowing the tier 2 tower to take too much damage here from Beast Coast. With that, Beast Coast will just take over the Dire Triangle. I mean, why the hell not? Again, you are fighting against an anti-mage, so you know that you can kind of do this. And Vichun will not get involved too early on. But that being said, John, considering the fact that they are not chasing down Vichun, you've got to be somewhat concerned about how fast this AM's farming now.
Yeah, Vichun's managed to hit number 1 now, despite that slower start. His items are starting to fly in, has the Yasha up, going for the Manta, is still into that BKB. It doesn't feel like it's fast enough, so time is still something that Navi needs to try to extend. Stall this game out as much as possible, try to ride through the spike that Whisper has on the Venom, though.
No one. Let's see Gojira and K1. Whisper, land the Gale onto the park, and Gojira land the Fisher as well, so they're going to try and follow up here. No one. He's launched his way out, but he's going to take a fair bit of poison damage onto this park, and just enough.
Dire's middle
Whisper
tower is under attack.
still on the chase, but won't be able to keep up with him. Instead, they'll try to find solo on this tree line and see if they can find the Winter Wyvern. Boat is going to fly out. Lace has copped the boat right to the face, but there's going to be no follow-up. Beast Coast kind of taking shots here at Na'Vi, but not really able to secure anything for themselves.
It still feels like Beast Coast are finding what they want. They're shoving them away from the top jungle. They're forcing a lot of the heroes of Navi just clumping together, staying by the tier 2 towers, not really farming up. In fact, everyone from Navi is kind of dirt poor except for Vichun. He's the only hero now getting that farm. We've seen this multiple times before. When you have the AM, it all goes into that AM basket. All your eggs are just in that one container, and if it tips over, Mike, everything crashes down. So that's something Navi has to be cautious about. Beast Coast sees the opportunity, knowing that they've got control up top. They've got the vision down here as well. Goes straight into the Rosh. That is Rosh number 1, so only the age is up, but 2 lives and something like the Hector here could be massive in these engagements.
Certainly could. So Solo is around trying to find a way to get into that Roshan pit still. But Gojira is there to kind of walk away as Roshan still dropping rather low, but the orbital they might just find themselves a Winter Wyvern for their trouble. East Coast rode out onto the Wyvern. Maybe Solo gone. Avalanche is out. They still have to find Gojira. Chris Luck now. In fact, never mind. Obvious has committed as well. Ace dropping a fair bit of damage, but not quite enough to secure the kill as K1 pops the coil now. Does break it himself, but he's in massive danger. Sweet and strong takes him out. In fact, they even found the Paveno. Whispers down. Stinger, he's been left behind to boot. The only survivor is Chris Luck, and he has the Aegis intact. The only man to be able to walk away.
Yeah, it's a big win for Navi. Despite dropping that Aegis, they just take a really good angle into this fight. Beast Coast losing Gojira earlier is a massive block for them.
Avalanche is there, sweet and strong. Just in time as Gojira does drop the Echo Slam, but Vichun just standing up, and look at this. He's found both of them. Nips out. This Luck probably not going to be too happy with that. There's so much commitment from Beast Coast, but nothing works for him.
Yeah, they come in, they drop the slam, great dodge out from the fissure with Vichun, using that Manta that he just picked up really well. And suddenly Beast Coast lose a lot of that lead. They had this really good momentum going their way, managed to take control of the map, and they bleed out in this one prolonged fight. They lose their Shaker early, they don't manage to angle in and follow through on the Omni. All of these schools have to work together here, Mike. You can't afford to kind of tumble in one by one. You have to connect all of that as a team because of how your toolkit works here for Beast Coast. So just one missing part of that equation, like Gojira dying early, and suddenly these engagements just get a lot tougher. And Navi, they have a great understanding of that.
Replay of all this as well is, I mean, it's just Vichun. He just said, "Screw it, I'm gonna man up here. I'm just gonna go for the fight." I think you're gonna get a lot of credit for
Radiant's
Sweet and
middle
Strong
tower
though on
is
the
under
Tiny, right? Like he's been all over this place for his carry. But the Echo just doesn't matter. No damage. That's partially the kind of issue I was talking about with the Earthshaker right now, John. It just feels like it lacks so much damage.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the damage output from the slam is just very situational. Again, mainly against really clumped up targets. The control is still
Dire's top
valuable,
tower is under
but you're not
attack.
nearly farmed enough on Chris Luck to burst
Dire
down off
are
the back of
scanning.
it. So you don't really manage to play with that well. Great scan out as well, spotting out Gojira, but doesn't look like they'll fully commit on the side of Na'Vi. Just taking control down bot. So opposite side of where Beast Coast has taken control, nullifying what they've done, taking over the
Dire's
jungle.
top
There is
tower
good vision
under
here though.
attack.
So Beast Coast are aware of where Na'Vi's trying to farm up right now.
East Coast. Keeping lanes pushed out. The grouped up together, but looking to make any kind of play happen yet.
Dire's top tower
Doesn't seem
is
like they're
under
interested in
attack.
trying to fight Beast Coast up the
Dire's
top lane, but
structures are fortified.
rather
Radiant's
pushing the bot here too
structures are
instead.
fortified. Radiant's bottom tower
Keep
is
the
under
C2
attack.
towers to drop.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
With the top is V-Tune. One's gonna land onto the AM. He'll think out of there. X up and Gojira. A very nice catch into the Echo Slam, and now the both to fly out V-Tune. Oh, he's been caught with his pants down. Into the Omni Smash onto Lace. They haven't been set for it yet. That's a very nice curse to set back up for Solo. If they want to counter initiate. We'll find Gojira for K1. He might be able to clean up with the gun. He has found a third. You know what? He's going to find a haste rune, so he should be fine to back his way up. But it's a successful team fight this time around for Beast Coast.
They just managed to get the right stuns from a distance away. Torrent connects onto the AM. They've got the follow through this time around. And Na'Vi are just not able to angle well. Like, the curse was pretty decent from Solo, but the output from K1, from Hector, is just not enough onto Whisper. And we can see that again on the replay coming out. That Venom is just a little bit too tanky. And just good initiation to start off with, but Gojira finds angle blink, and they just chain stun that AM to oblivion.
There's no BKB up yet at all for V. Up soon, but certainly very hard to take these kind of fights without a BKB and get taken down. Props to Beast Coast for a great initiation there. You saw Gojira just kind of sneak up from the backside earlier on, and Ichu just not quite expecting it. He ends up paying off here for Beast Coast. See if they can keep this kind of aggression up, as they are going to find no one. Down a port lane, Fisher is there to lock him down, but a nice phase shift to a is that needs to back out, and will do so within the BKB duration. East Coast, that'll be enough for them. They forced the whole of Na'Vi to group up as a team down to the bot side and just keep allowing K1 to keep his farm going. In fact, double smoke out from Na'Vi now. Where are we going? Mid lane, Whisper, Chris Luck. Both around the area. Smoke will break. X will be scouted out. Chris Luck will get caught by the Dream Call into the snap immediately with the X back. Sweet and Strong with the Avalanche cross combo, and now the curse out. Solo, he scored 3 of them. All the mana drain from K1 into the mana void as well. Oh, perfect setup from Na'Vi. They even found Whisper, but he does BKB up and should be able to. Even Strong. Still a great set of trades here for Na'Vi. Once again, a really nice curse set up there from Solo on the Wyvern.
Yeah, just a great start this time around for Na'Vi. And they managed to break off. What Beast Coast wants to do is we can take a little peek here as we get the replay going. They just get a good Dream Coil off. Like, they see the X back, Dream Coil up front, and then X back, getting the punishment they want onto Chris Luck, and it just kind of collapses from there. They're too clumped up, a great Chris comes out, and the cleanups there from Beach.
Yeah, it's just great when you drain all the mana and you just know you got a perfect mana void ready to go, and Fortunately for Beast Coast, they were kind of at the worst end of all matters.
Don't mind if
Still, they have a very slight net worth lead on the side of Beast Coast, but... Oh, Beachun. Right into Gojira. It's the old Shadow Amulet special. Gojira just not going to make a move, and we'll be just fine as not... Well, Beachun, he had no idea what he just blinked into.
Yeah. And it's always a little bit sneaky when you can get that done. But realistically, there's not much you can really do there for Gojira by himself, getting TPs on top of him. Roshan, maybe about 10 seconds away from early respawn, and the scan out does spot this smoke play, although...
Move in. They won.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
double
They didn't
damage.
get caught out quite yet. So they do posture aggressively. Sweden strong, looking for the opening, but eventually he's going to decide to just blink out of there. Oh, they get caught. Chris Luck looking for the X back, but not able to find it. Still rushing his way up to the high ground, is eventually going to be able to find the Wyvern. Lace is around to try and help out if he really wants to. Solo going to buy a bit of time with the Cold Embrace, but that'll be enough for them. Na'Vi they'll lose the Wyvern, they'll back off as Beast Coast. They're not done yet. After Sweden Strong they go, trying for the Tiny as well, and they should have it. The X-Back is there, though Sweden Strong somehow still alive, is buying a bit more time. RV just not looking for the fight as Beast Coast still just keep going. Boys over around now, Lane's forcing off the X and trying to force the fight as the buyback. There as well from RV. Before they aiming, one rifle with the first of the Venom, but he's going to beat KB up. Beachun, he'll join the fray as well. Solo already dying back up easy on the Wyvern. They might find the Earthshaker, but no. Oh, Beast Coast. They just kept going. And eventually Na'Vi, they were just forced to turn around and try to force the fight. It just doesn't work out in their favor.
No, and Beast Coast are just playing really well with this long-range initiation they have. Not really initiation, but just a long-range nuking with the fissure and the kisses coming out. They isolate targets from Na'Vi, forcing them to split up. They immediately take care of Solo, removing that Winter Wyvern and the Chris from the equation. And just without that, your team fight's kind of gone. You still have the coil to play with. You don't have that counter fight when Beast Coast, all they want to do is keep running at it. Dream Coil doesn't quite stop that. The Curse does. And again, you lose that Winter Wyvern. It opens up the possibilities for Beast Coast. They're even fortunate for the Roshan. It's already up. Chris Luck runs straight in with the damage output they have on the jug. And with the help of that AC, it's not going to take too long for Rosh to fall apart.
Roshan. Get down. The way of Beast Coast basically for free here. Na'Vi just unable to contest this one. It's the way of K1 this time around. They won't allow the jug to go without it. With a 7k advantage now, Beast Na'Vi on the back foot now, and even with the BKBs up, they are still struggling. Just Gojira finding the perfect catches with these fishes flying out, and it just proves to be way too much in these team fights. And here I was, Jonathan, talking about how crap Earthshaker is right now, but Gojira, he's proven me wrong. There's no one. Bot lane might have to find out the hard way as well, as they are looking to make the jump in, but a nice blink out. TP away, and they go... Not quite. Won't even try. Down towards the bot lane once again though, Solo. Gonna be slowed up by these Mortimer's kisses. Fisher is gonna barely connect in Solo. Eventually just slowly gonna burn away. As K1 does move into the kill secure. Beast Coast, they might just try and settle for this bottom tier 1 tower now. Rather tier 2 tower. Or maybe not. Maybe just go into the dive triangle and keep that farm going.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Na'Vi, they just don't have a lot of options when your food supports can just play like this. That's a pause 4 and pause 5 combo. Fissure out, Kisses out, you don't care if you extend it. Take away one piece of the equation from Na'Vi, and again, it's always the pivotal Winter Wyvern. Without that curse, without that presence, that full embrace up in, got that opening for Beast. They're still protected by Aegis for 3.5 minutes. They could go into the high ground.
Fine, they want good. That's tier 3 tower. Free gone. Navi, they're the ones that are going to find a way to try and force this fight. K1 very confident, but a nice avalanche toss that is there onto K1. Now Beachun does make his flick in, so they will go for the fight on the side of Beast Coast. Beachun, he's under control. Eventually with the Mana Void, they'll get the job done. Even finding the Aegis of the junk. Beast Coast really want to keep this fight going. It does seem like they do. They brought back on Stinger. They're committing to this one. But Rax still under siege here from Beast Coast. And will drop.
Dire's bottom barracks.
I mean, they got a couple kills here, but not quite enough to save their own Rats. The Beast Coast, they might go for a second.
Still got the Omni ready on K1. Sort of good hospital.
Back is there. K1, he'll go to the line anyway. In fact, never mind. He'll sit out after seeing the X's are being popped here from Lace. They don't have to fight into that unnecessarily. Might just wait it out though. Mode is there. Onto the DP with the drag back, but again, no full committal until that Exorcism is gone. With that Beast Coast, they'll go for a reset anyway. No need to rush this. They are 1x up now and 10k net worth ahead. Just no need to panic. Just play this one slow.
Yeah, they've got a really good grasp on this game. For Na'Vi, I mean, it doesn't. I don't know if your AM can really grow as big as you want it to be here. The Butterfly's going to be coming through for Beachun relatively soon here as well, but the Jug's your massive issue. You've got to find a way to burst down the K1. Hector already has a Batcher up on that Jug, so the Omnisash is an even bigger threat, and even Whisper on that Veno. Like, the investment, you know, it's kind of slowing down, 15k net worth, but the Ags is coming out here, Mike. So even more damage coming through with the Poison Nova, and even have the Poison Nova talent already up at level 20. The timing's perfect for Whisper to play with here. The plus 5 second duration, 30-second duration Poison Nova with the additional damage you have on the Ags. That's pretty obnoxious, Mike. That's going to be consistently annoying, and it's not like you can instantly burst Whisper down as well. He's just very durable with BKB and Hood of Defiance up.
Oh, it's a lot of damage. It's a hell of a lot of damage, and with that lower cooldown, going to make matters even worse here for Na'Vi. Is still trying to find a way to fight back against Beast Coast. They do make the jump in onto the Snapfire now. The partner's K1 will go after the Death Prophet, trying to chase down Lace, but nobody getting locked down quite yet. Beachun does rear his head out. This is a committed as well, but they're cancelled off immediately by no one. Whisper, there's your jump in with the Poison Nova. Lace, popping it. Fisher is there, lock him down and take him out. Now they can certainly go for the fight. East Coast, they might force high ground once again and at least get a buyback to be convinced from this Death Prophet. He all Sweden's wrong. He's still taking out to this shot. It's not even an axe upgrade yet. In fact, it is.
It is. You know, at least, you know, Nova's not fatal damage, so you're not quite dead, but it's enough to shut him away. And as you mentioned, Mike, high ground, so slowly shoving although.
Curse is there, but it's really caught nothing. Solo, he might just go down for this. Prince Love, yeah, just moves in. Easy pick off for himself. There's your buyback committed by Laser to try and force this one back their way as K1 does go down to Beachun. Maybe they can force the fight. Chris Love looking for the TP up at the coil. It's going to lock him down to Na'Vi. They will be able to punish the side of Beast Coast for sticking around a bit too long. Not a bad team fight whatsoever for Na'Vi, and not a bad defense.
And they hold on, they prevent further losses on the high ground. And Beast Coast maybe getting a bit too keen on that move up. I mean, a lot of spells from Na'Vi didn't connect, but the key thing for Na'Vi that enabled them was that they knew that Nova wasn't going to be up at that point. Still a minute cooldown, and so there's a little bit of time, a little bit of an opening. Venom wasn't quite in the area as well. And with that, Na'Vi keep themselves in the game. 26-25, still an overwhelming lead for Beast Coast at 8k, but it has shrunk down a bit. Again, Beachun with a butterfly up does mean your output on the Jug versus AM matchup is equally awkward for both sides with the evasion running on both.
Radiant's middle tower
Beachun right into the tier 3. Poison over there. Whisper to try and force them back. No one, meanwhile, found Gojira. Now with the toss back onto the Veno. Oh boy, Whisper might just go down, but a nice cookie to save the day. No one, though, going to follow up and secure the killers now. Beachun right in with the snap fire, wanting a bit more. Might just have him. Pop his BKB just in case. But he has secured the kill. The Beast Coast, I mean, they've got to be very careful here, John. They've given
Radiant's
a lot
middle
of
barracks are under attack. Radiant are scanning.
And it's a big swing back for the side of Na'Vi. A set of racks to equalize it down to mid. You are still fairly well protected in the Beast Coast with the tier 1 standing up top and tier 2 down bot. Na'Vi aren't going to be overstaying their welcome here, immediately backing off after at least that melee racks falling. So they're staying disciplined on Na'Vi. They respect that Beast Coast has a lot of fight in them. And Beast Coast, for their part, losing just immediately mid, not the end of the world. They have a full set of racks down bot. Again, tier 2 still standing bot and tier 1 standing top. The mid creeps are still a very distant possibility. But for Na'Vi, with this kind of opening, with a DD lying around, if they get lucky with a Roche timer here, they could try to go again onto the high ground. And considering how much EHP you do have on your AM with the evasion, it might not be enough to just hope that Hector can spin on top and get the Omni Slash off, because Beachun is deceptively tanky.
There, they found the punch. They'll take no one down, but now the curse is trying to turn this one still K1. Gets an Omni onto the wire of the solo. Looking at the buyback. Still Gojira is going to drop it now. K1. Mana Void is there. He's going to go down, it seems like. Oh boy, here we go. No buyback available. This is where things get rather scary here for Beast Coast. They can get their way up. Maybe find another lane of barracks, but not to be fair, John, they've got tier 2 towers still standing on both side lanes, so Na'Vi, they're gonna have to do it the old-fashioned.
Radiant's top
And
tower
have to
is
chip
falling.
away. Tier 1 falls top
Radiant's
onto
top
the tier
tower
2
is under
next.
attack.
Backdoor is still up and kicking. That might buy them enough time for that to at least get Gojira back up. You've got the Fissure Kisses to play with once more,
Radiant's top
but
tower is under
it just
attack.
doesn't feel enough. Like, you are still finding solo. I mean, to be fair, like, the Winter Wyvern's impact hasn't been that great this game.
Radiant's
It's all,
top tower
it's just
has
been about
fallen.
Beachun and mainly Sweet and Strong as well. Along with no one just making quick side.
Again, Beachun a little bit deep here on the AM, but Mossback is there. Onto Chris Luck, they've got the conquer. Chris Luck, well, he's trying to get out, but he's being mashed here into the Abyssal Blade now. Still surviving somehow, but Beachun just not done yet. Eventually finding Chris Luck. He can buy back. May just have to. But no one and the rest of Na'Vi, they need a reset. This Poison Nova damage is just so high from Whisper. They can't really
Dire's
go for
middle
a fight
tower is
after.
under attack.
Yeah, it's enough to force them back for a bit of a reset. One thing with Ag's Venomancer, it's 50% uptime from that Nova. 60-second cooldown. You've got 25-second duration as well. It's like pretty much 50%. So every single time you're going to have that up in a pivotal point in the game. Beast Coast going for the smoke play. Might catch some good targets in the triangle here.
See. Yeah, Bishop, they've got solo behind them. The lock stuns are there, but now the curse is committed. Beachun, he'll be able to set up right onto Whisper if he wishes, but the Poison Nova is available once again, but they get the style off her. Beachun, he gets caught out of the AM this time around, but the cold embrace is going to buy a bit of time. Beachun, still alive, but not for long. They've taken him down. Gojira, just the constant stuns flying out. He gets it done. Beast Coast trying for a bit more now. Or rather, no one. He finds Stinger. No one. Still taking out the Poison Nova damage, but one he is going to be fine. So all Sweet and Strong. Everyone just so low on HP, but they're all managed to survive because, again, Poison Nova, it's not lethal.
Yeah, it's the one saving grace when you are playing against that. You will need to land a Gale or at least have a bit of a poison sting out from your wards or from your own right click to help clean up. It's at that point in the game where it's very hard to tell who's eking out a little bit more on the map. Like, in theory, Beast Coast is a little bit better off with a tier 2 standing bot, but Na'Vi aren't doing too bad as well. It's a lot of back and forth in these fights. This Roshan's going to set precedent. Although, he's strong.
K1 though will have his way with him, but now the coil is there for no one. Chris Lock still going after Lace. The K1 seems to have an eyes set onto no one. And saying, no, the back way out. K1 toward the south. Chris Lock falling rather low here to Lace. Eventually might just drop. Even with the boat run, it's not going to be enough. Not commit buyback to try and get back into this Roshan pit, but in the meantime, K1 now, he's been left behind. He's in big trouble, even with the BKB up, he's going to go down. No buyback. Stinger trying to run his way out of the snapfire, but it doesn't seem like he'll be lucky either. Eventually, he will go down. More buybacks can be committed here from Beast Coast. They try for no one but the Echo Slam. Oh, it's completely whiffed.
Ooh, boy. And out of nowhere, Navi suddenly has an 8k, 9k lead back with all the buybacks submitted from Beast Coast. They understand Rosh is up though. They can't afford to give that one away. They're gonna have to run their way up there. Omni Slash still ready for Hector to play with. But Navi's teamfight's also at the ready. Dream Coil's ready, Curse is ready. Only the Exo is kind of down for a bit longer. Hector's taking massive risk trying to fix this exchange. Is forced to back off. With all the buybacks committed from Beast Coast, Navi with one team fight on a couple of heroes, that could be high ground and Megas, maybe the end game if you're not
Dire's
careful.
middle tower is under attack.
Very nice avalanche this time. They found Gojira. The Earthquake is gone now. No buyback available. Navi will just keep moving forward. Curse is down, holding down Chris Luck. K1 trying to get something done here against Beachun. Beachun's out of there. Meanwhile, no one. He's up for a while, but he's just fine, as well as now the Man of Void back in onto Whisper. The Venom Man's in big trouble. Could go down and eventually, no, not quite yet. Beachun in danger now. He's trying to run, and will blink away, and Beast Coast somehow keeping this team fight going as no one still trying to hunt down the Venomancer. Trying to juke and jive his way to victory as Whisper still trying to avoid no one. Eventually surely dies here and does do so as no one. Not done yet. Wind Waker his way up back to the high ground is now sweet and strong with the toss back onto the Conker. For his luck, trying to try and man fight this one out. That's not the way it is. He'll try, but there's just no way to survive. That might be it. There's 3 heroes down without buyback available. But Navi, they're going to go for Roshan first.
Have that opening for pretty big objective. 3 Ags on the deck here along with the cheese. So it's going to have even more output from the AM, especially if they do hand it to Beacon. That Blink Fragment is completely obnoxious, could open up the game even more for Navi. Again, they maintain that lead at 11k. Lots of back and forth fights there. Beast Coast, they're just so happy to commit buybacks, but it's such a double-edged sword that if it falls apart, it loses you a huge amount in that game. And they will give Vitrinet Ags here as well, Mike. So Blink Fragments up, even better ways for Navi to, again, just play tag, come inside without committing too much, and maybe force some awkward responses out from Beast Coast. Have to see what they can get done. Again, still protected from the Megas here. Mike tier 2 standing bot, but a clear angle for Navi to just take top and just kind of go from there now.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Not going to be too much work here for Navi.
Radiant's top
Goes back against the wall now. Literally no buybacks available for the last one, but it's just can't off the victory. Moss is there. Moss reaching back out. No, they got the Jug. They've snapped the Green Coil. They've already got K1 locked down. They've taken him out. No way back in this team fight for 2 minutes. No one. He looks to put the finish on this game.
Radiant's top
More forward
barracks
into
are
the
under
fountain,
attack.
but just holding them back and making sure they cannot come to defend. Navi will take the base of the Radiant side, and there's just nothing to
Radiant's
stop.
top barracks has fallen.
There is still a tier 2 tower
Radiant's
standing
top
down at the
barracks
bot
are
lane,
on
but
Radiant's
Navi,
top barracks
if they
has
realize there's no buybacks, they could go for tier 4 towers, but it doesn't feel like they want to. They'll go the old-fashioned way and just go through the bot lane. Because you've always just got to be careful. This game's just turned so many times now, you just don't want to risk it. Navi, they'll play it patient.
Play it safe, just keep shoving out. You have some decent wave clear here from Beast Coast. So the threat for the end game, as long as Chris Luck is around, is still a bit tough to do. But Navi now in very clear lead here, Mike, 23k up. You take a look at the graphs in this game. That is quite the roller coaster ride if you open up those graphs here, Mikey.
Yeah.
All the way up for Beast Coast for a while, back and forth in the laning phase, and then that crash down. It's like, jeez. Look at all the commitments for the buybacks. The fight's not working out for Beast Coast, and Navi just coming back in after a really rough start. I mean, Vitrun's just a menace. He's going for the full moon shard up
Radiant's
next.
bottom
Probably
tower
just
is
consume
under
that,
attack.
and even has some nice levelers to help this progress on the buildings.
Tiny lockdown.
Radiant's bottom
Made it
tower
strong.
is
Kind of
fallen.
trapped between a rock and a hard place. And now no one. Actually getting stunned up here on the puck. Going down. Whoopsie. It's too preemptive, I think, here from no one. And
Yeah, just we do a little diving sometimes, Mike. You know, as they would say, as the youth would say. You sometimes want to dive a bit far, go too far. Nice smoke break from Sweet and Strong here, though.
jumped in. Double avalanche. And cross combination. Hunter Stinger. And of course Gojira into the curse out from Solo. They should just get cleaned up here by Vichu. This Stinger does. Twist. Up here, Twist. Twist goes nowhere. Two down.
Strange time to hibernate.
See if they can make that high ground push for that final lane of barracks and the Megas.
They've got an angle. Two big cores still stand for Beast Coast, but they will buy back on Solo as well, trying to get that movement down. Not too much time left in the EXO. And be mainly Vitrun doing the heavy lifting. We'll see if they can get something done. Gojira still has that slam, but Navi's not giving them any clean
Radiant's
angles for the big
bottom
slams
tower is
anymore.
under attack.
Good free tower.
Radiant's
Drop
bottom
another toss
tower
back again.
is
Sweet and Strong right into the coil, but the Echo Slam being committed by Gojira. Problem is, John, there's just no damage to this. Around, but it's not doing the damage necessary. They've just got all the answers here on the side of Navi as they find another.
Radiant's bottom barracks
No
are
call
under
being made yet
attack.
here from Beast Coast, but there's 4 down. There you go, there's the GG call now. A very back and forth game. And like you said, John, on the graph, it does kind of imply that Beast Coast had a very good lead around midway through this game, but a few mistakes here and there, John. End up looking them back.
Like, I think for Beast Coast, right, they found this strong early start. They managed to really